So again, Nupur, I'm so sorry, I'm feeling terribly this thing because we have such short time. Help us understand, you spoke about, again, this compliance, and you've spoken about listening even as a therapist, but there's a big parent community here that when you're dealing with these injured children, is there any pattern that you're seeing, which is creating that breakdown, and which you feel, again, that there can be some playbook that parents can take away?
So there's three things I want to say. One is in response to Pranavi's thing about anxiety still coming up. All of us on this stage right now are anxious about different things. Anxiety is something that everybody in this room experiences. Each of your smartphones is used as anesthesia against our anxiety when it rises. So anxiety is not something that's going to go away. It's a physiological experience. So let's not make it into something that is wrong. It's about levels of anxiety, connected to which the whole point about it needing spaces of safety. See, learning can only take place when the nervous system is in a place of safety. If your child in the home or in a school or in any scenario is scared, the nervous system is overwhelmed, and fear does not become a conducive place for the nervous system to take in new information. So learning cannot take place in fear. All of you are in powerful positions in your own respective places of work. You would know what it's like to have been facing a senior who's not listening. You would know what it's like now to have a subordinate you are being now in the position where you're trying to make them listen.
No, but I just wanted to cut in here because there's one important thing. So you've made this point about the anxiety that a lot of parents that I've spoken to that even young children are confused about what's that line where you just tell someone to buck up and carry on, or when you really take it seriously enough to give it attention or therapy. Parents often can't recognize that. Is there anything that you can give?
Yes. And it's actually a specialist thing to be able to recognize when anxiety is over threshold, and where you cannot tell them to just get on with it. But as a rule of thumb, I'd say if you're talking to teenagers or young people, avoid the word should, because then you've lost your audience. And the second one is do not tell them to get on with it, because that's very dismissive, and then you've lost your audience again.
But is there anything, how do they know when you have to go to a therapist? Like, this is happening at home. How do you know that you need to go to a therapist?
So our bottom line is take all distress seriously. After that, we can then talk about how much, when, where, and how.
Okay.
But you have to take distress seriously, because only then are they going to take you seriously.
Right. You were sharing with me earlier, there are physiological symptoms, that when being sad to just not being functional is a good example of when you need to go to a doctor, But Sudipto, I'm going to have to rush you on this, that as a parent, when your child was cutting, ODing, you had a certain response to it, which you said has helped you get through it. Would you share that in a line?
So what we did was we tried to tackle the job at hand, which was to take care of the child. We stood by the child. We didn't panic ourselves. That's one of the first things that usually we have heard other instances from other parents do. We were lucky enough not to do it. But what we fell short of is continue to show affection during that period of distress. So we needed to solve the immediate crisis when on a holiday we had a situation at home where medical aid was needed and no doctor was available. So we did what was necessary, including an intramuscular injection, tetanus, and so on, with guidance from the doctor. But what we could have done was to show more affection that we understand. That's something that is always in short supply when children have mental health challenges. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, and I'm feeling very rude to not let all of you read what you had planned to read to the audience, but I'd just like to share with you that all of them have written books, and the books are available outside on Amazon at Bahari Sons. I'm going to have to leave it here. I'm sorry Sudipto's not even able to speak about the gender dysmorphia, transitioning to a new gender, all very bewildering experiences for parents, but this is just the tip. like a torchlight. And thank you very, very much, all of you, for sharing your time and experiences with us. Thank you.